All right. How's it going, everybody? Rogelio Diaz here. Sure, this mic is good. Today, we're going to be going into why you feel lost, right? This is actually a really good thing. And you're going to realize that you're actually being found right now. And it it's an interesting point in life, right? Like all these periods in time where you feel lost and you're unsure and you don't know how things are going to play out, but it's all happening for you one way or another, right? Every single time. One sec. This work. I think okay, maybe it's better. Um, Sorry about that. But yeah, like if you feel lost, it's not a coincidence. It's a signal. And it's a signal for change. It's a signal for something new that's trying to come in. And you have to listen to it because if you don't listen to it, it's gonna the universe, your subconscious is gonna force you to sit down and listen to it. When I was 22, man, I was floating through life. I had no real purpose. I had no foundation of who I was. I was still searching for something. And I didn't even know I was searching for something until life hit and I went through my first awakening. And it was scary, bro. It was scary. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that I needed change. And I couldn't keep drinking anymore. I couldn't keep partying anymore. I couldn't keep being the same version that I was being at that time. My girlfriend at the time cheated on me. I I had two slip discs from working at UPS. I got hit with a DUI. I had to put a breathalyzer in my car just to be able to drive. I was broke. I was broken every way. And I went to sleep one night under the influence. And I asked myself if this was going to be the rest of my life. And something in me that night, for whatever reason, said no. And I made one choice that changed the whole trajectory of my life. That I was going to learn one new thing every day to become better, to be better. And I did. I stayed true to that for 2 years. And I changed my whole paradigm, right? My whole identity. There were so many new things that I allowed in, so many new things that I saw that I was capable of, right? There was so much more potential in me that I didn't even know. And little by little, I started finding more of myself. But again, I was feeling lost. I felt stuck. I felt so confused about where I was going in life. And it's because, again, there was something that was coming in, there was something that was changing. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what your soul is trying to tell you because there's a message and you need to get it so you can take the next steps, so you can move forward, so you can become who you came here to be. Because all of that, bro, who I used to be, it doesn't even matter. What matters is who I'm becoming. What matters is who you are becoming. That's what really is important right now. And I need you to really focus on that. Because again, once you do, things are gonna start changing quick. I got my notes here. So the real reason people feel lost is because the old identity doesn't fit, but the new one hasn't formed yet, right? So you're forming this new version of you, and you need new knowledge, you need new information, new experiences. For me, I went to a 4 day spiritual retreat, and I realized, wow, I didn't want to go back to my hometown, Chicago, and I stayed there. And it was crazy because it just started with a simple conversation with an old buddy. And we were talking before the retreat, and I went to visit, and I was in Sedona, Arizona, and I was sharing with him, I would love to live here. I felt so free. I felt like, wow, this is how life is supposed to be. And I was 27 at that time, and he tells me, "Why don't you?" And I'm like, "I can't. Come on, man. How am I gonna? I got my whole life set up in Chicago. How am I gonna move to Sedona just like that? All I had was my car, my luggage, and my dream, right? My dream of doing doing what I'm doing now." And so, but he planted that seed. At that time, we're having the conversation. I I didn't really take it serious, but after the 4-day retreat, I realized I couldn't go back. I had to stay, and I did. I ended up staying in Sedona, and I found my way through. I ended up moving to Flagstaff for a little bit, and then Surprise, Arizona, then Scottsdale, and just bouncing around, just city to city. And it was, again, one of the most freeing times of my life. But before that, I was pretty lost, bro. Like, even though I was like getting more clarity, I still didn't really know the path that I was gonna walk. And um most people, they interpret that as failure, right? When you're uncertain, or you keep hitting a wall. But it's really growth coming in every time. It's really growth coming in. But what your soul is actually trying to tell you are three things, bro. Three things. You're outgrowing your old story, right? You're being pulled in a new direction, and you're being asked to trust instead of control. You gotta let the universe pull. You gotta let your spirit pull you where you need to go, bro. Because you can only control so much. You really can. And that's the thing. Like, we try so hard to control, and we plan, and we have all these ideas. And some of them are like, it's not bad to have ideas, right? But when they don't go as planned, we think we failed. We think we're doing something wrong. When in all reality, we're being redirected. And like, nothing ever went as planned for me. Nothing, bro. I had to constantly course correct. I had to constantly redefine who I was, where I wanted to go. But through that process, I got to the point where I am now. And I got more and more clarity every year, every month. And it was, yeah, it's been doing the inner work more than anything. The more you heal yourself, the more you find yourself. It's been, and again, getting rid of these old stories, or challenging them, and finding out why they've been there, like finding the core root of it. Because for a long time, I thought I was a failure. And I was so wrong. I was, for that, through childhood experiences, through traumatic events, through limiting beliefs. That's the conclusion that my mind found, and came down to. And like, maybe there's something within you, bro, that you think disqualifies you. You think you're not ready for, the next step, or it's an old story. It's a limiting belief. It's something in you that's keeping you where you're at, because you're afraid. You're afraid of growth. You're afraid of the uncertainty that comes with taking that next step. But I'm telling you, bro, it's so worth it. When you go within yourself, right? You do go through and if you want help with this, check out the link below. I have my free community. I take you through what's called the truth process. It's in my course, Courage Unleashed. And you really get to see the truth behind all the negative stuff and the limiting beliefs that you find about yourself. You're really going to get to see who you are, and that you're the exact opposite. But when you're in these times, when you feel lost in life, you really you gotta just take the next step, the next logical step. I'll never forget my mentor. First mentor, he told me, he told me that. And the next best step is the next best logical step, and whatever makes the most sense, that's the route that you want to go. And every time I felt lost, it was also because life was pulling me into a bigger version of myself. But and again, it just came with more, feeling more uncomfortable, with more uncertainty, right? With investing in myself. It came with a lot of new actions that I had to take that I normally wouldn't take. And that's that's what got me to grow, right? I remember when I wanted to be a trainer, I got my diploma. And that was the obvious next step. I had to get my diploma. And then from there, while I was getting my diploma, I met my first business partner, and we went into business together, and we opened up a personal training studio, and we're running that for a while. And it's crazy how, when you're following your purpose, people come into your life. new, and then you get ideas and just like these intuitive nudges, and you got to listen to them. You have to listen to them. I remember I was working out. We were in class, and I heard my, again, future business partner at that time talking about how he wanted to open up a studio and he was looking for trainers. And just what a coincidence, right? I was there to hear that conversation, and I knew when I heard that, I'm like, this is it. This is what I've been asking for. This is the opportunity. And I took action on it. I talked to him. Hey, bro, I would love to be a part of that. What does that look like? We met up for lunch and we talked about it. And there's many times for like that where I felt like, all right, do this. But my next mentor, like I reached out to him and I told him, hey, I'll I'll get you a cup of coffee. I'll make you bagels, bro. I let me help you. I came with a giving hand. Let me serve you. I want to be a part of what you're doing. And I helped him out for 3 years. I grew so much. I learned so much. But there's always a moment or a period of feeling lost before that starts to happen, right? There's this uncertainty. There's this like wave of concern, of frustration, and like what? Like I wanted to move out of my parents. I kept trying. I was this close, and I didn't know how. Welcome whoever joined. Like I didn't know how I was going to move out, but it happened. It happened. I want to say at the right time, but I felt I felt a lot ready before then. But it is what it is, bro. It happened, and it did not happen. It didn't move out the way I was thinking it was going to happen either. But yeah, guys, like I know right now there's a lot of uncertainty, but there's a lot of messages trying to come in. Get the message, do the inner work, do the shadow work, do the self healing, so you can start going into your path. You can start finding your higher purpose, your higher calling. Right? If you're a conscious entrepreneur, you're probably watching this. Join my free community. Again, I'll walk you through that process. It's going to help you gain tremendous clarity, and that you'll be able to get the next steps as well. What you need to do to create your business, right? To start helping again and serving again. And there's people that need you, bro. But you got to need you as well, the real you, right? Your true self. And the more you empower yourself, the more you heal yourself, the more you educate yourself, the more you'll be able to help others, because you could only take people as deep as you take in yourself every time. I wouldn't be able to talk to you here if I didn't invest in myself the way I did, if I didn't do my own, again, healing work. There's no way. There's no way. But all right, guys, I hope this helped. Leave a comment. I would love to know what was the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway you got from this video. And reach out on Instagram. It's down below as well. Send me a message. If you have any questions, I'm here. But again, if you haven't joined my free community, what are you waiting for, bro? You got a lot of other conscious entrepreneurs that are waiting for you to connect with them. I want you to share your lessons in there, right? What you have to say, what you've learned from going through life and trying to build your spiritual business. I would love to hear. But yeah, you can find that down in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.